Welcome to the Tech Support Guy Show, episode 57 for Sunday, July 8th, 2012. This show went down the toilet.
Welcome to the Tech Support Guy Show. I'm Mike Cermak, known on the site as Tech Guy, and with me today is Brian Hansen.
Hello.
I was wondering if you're going to do the same thing. And Dan McCarthy.
Hello.
Hola, very quietly. All right, and we are doing a take two because once again I forgot to push the record button on the first take. We've been full of technical difficulties today, and I was distracted by airplanes and just didn't push it. It was really Brian's job this month to press the record button. He just failed to do it.
Well, it's been 4 months since I've been here. It's good.
Has
to
it
be
really
back,
been
but
4
I forgot
months?
my duties.
Has it really been 4 months?
Yeah, March. March was the last show I was on.
Wow. No wonder we've been doing so well lately. I've been getting all these comments for the last couple months about how much the show's improved, and
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. You guys are experts at what you do.
Other than
that, we're starting 36 minutes late, and this is the second time we've done this.
other than pushing the record button, we are experts. We got this down. And other than the fact that we got a dead screen back there and you're on the wrong screen, hey, it's working, man. We're making it work. And the chat room is laughing at us, so I shall mention that you can go to techguy.tv to view the show live and also to see past episodes. And also we have our show notes there with all the links to everything we talk about. All right, I said that before, but no one else heard it before because I didn't record it. Next podcast, Sunday, August 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Join us then. So let's jump into a couple of stories. And the first story Brian was just getting ready to tell us about is that Greenway wants to put an end to traffic jams.
Right. So there's this team in Germany that is now competing this week in Sydney in Microsoft's 10th Imagine Cup. Basically, they have a student technology competition where a bunch of teams compete to get some venture capital / angel funding from Microsoft and some of their similar investors, right? This particular team has come up with an approach to put an end to traffic jams. Their idea is basically take a whole bunch of GPS sensors, everybody that has either a GPS with this technology in it or an app on the phone that also has GPS in it, and upload that data and start basically planning out routes for each and every car on the road all at the same time. So to your point, Mike, earlier about, it's not going to help you because you're going to be sitting in the traffic jam before it recognizes that there is one. This one is actually meant to basically take all the cars on the road, predict a path for all the cars, and then redirect all of them so that there's no more than like a 5-minute wait on any given route. So it could be kind of cool if it actually works. The interesting piece about this particular team's solution is that they want to charge you if you decide to take the Greenway route as opposed to your normal GPS's recommended route. Looks like no more than 30 cents. But my question would be, okay, well, is that 30 cents per turn or, per choice that I make for a Greenway over the regular GPS or not? But long story short, they're looking to monetize the ability to get you out of traffic jams before they start.
Now, wouldn't this work far better if everyone was using Greenway? Isn't it going to be not nearly as effective if only a handful of people were paying 30 cents to do it?
Reportedly, whether you use the Greenway routes or not, it will still use your information and route the users that are paying for it appropriately based on your routing. So even though if you opt not to pay, the people that are paying are going to get the benefits and you're not. And they will also be able to use publicly available data systems. And this is supposed to be a worldwide application. It's coming from Germany. But so any government-controlled or public utility-controlled GPS information that might be out there that tracks traffic conditions, this app would be able to tap into it and do the same thing almost as a, an automatic opt-in for everyone that's on the road and is being tracked by the government.
It'd be great if it could make people drive worth a crap instead of rubbernecking. Yeah, I don't see how this app is going to help with rubbernecking on a highway where it's the only route in, or you're already on a tollway, and everyone stops just because they can't drive.
Sure. I mean, no amount of technology is going to be able to change the fact that a one-way road only goes one way, and that's the only path between you and your destination. But for things like getting out of a city, getting out of San Francisco during rush hour, there's actually multiple routes, but everybody takes the same damn one, and it just creates a bunch of bottlenecks up the 101 or down the 101 depending on your direction. So it's possible. Apparently, though, there's already an app out there called Waze, W-A-Z-E. I haven't checked it out myself yet, but it's on my list. That kind of does this, and it does it for free. But again, the glitch is more and more people have to use it in order for it to increase its ability to optimize. This Greenway thing, though, supposedly it's already done a test pilot program in Germany. Even with only 10% of the cars on the road using it in their small test pilot, it validated their approach. So whatever math and science they're using seems to be very efficient, and it doesn't necessarily matter if you have the whole population contributing or not. So kind of cool. I don't know if I'd pay for it or not pay for it. I mean, 30 cents, yeah, maybe. But what happens if things get screwed up and I have to pay 30 cents 10 times to get around in the world's biggest traffic cluster?
Well, from what I read, it says that it is 30. That they take a fraction of the amount of gas you would have saved by doing this, and they say it's no more than 30 cents.
Right. So I wonder, when I read that, I was like, well, does that mean if its route wouldn't save me any gas, either through mileage or MPGs,
right,
then do I get it to do it for free anyway?
I would assume so, or darn close to it.
Yeah, if they can't do any better than I'm already doing, why should I pay them?
Right. Yep, I think that's correct.
Yeah. So kind of cool, and especially considering that supposedly this is a student team that came up with this project and this approach, and they've already gotten pretty far along.
It's interesting that they already have a way to make money off of it, to keep it running. A lot of these student-led things, don't really get off the ground, and they think about how to make money on it as an afterthought. An
afterthought, right. I think right now, like Waze, the app I referred to before that already does this for free, they have direct sponsorship, it sounds like from Hess Fuel, Hess Oil Company, whatever. Hess gas stations, so they have to see stare at apps while they're on their phones, and the Hess gas stations probably get priority on the Waze app or whatever. But kind of a small price to pay if you believe that it actually can help you use a more efficient path.
Is this application actually available now, the Greenway one?
No, it is not.
Okay, and it looks like from their website, the other problem with it is that it appears to be for Windows Phone.
It is currently only supported by Windows phones, but they do, if you read the article, they do have intentions of launching it for all of the other protocols.
Okay, good, because that would be helpful.
There are 5 users that could use it right now.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be an issue if it was only Windows Phone users.
Yeah. So, as somebody who lives in the most overpopulated state in the Union and has to drive its roads more frequently than he would like, all fellow New Jerseyans are probably clamoring for something like this to help us stay off of freaking Interstate 80 when we don't need to be on Interstate 80. So, we'll see.
Yeah, Hobo in the chat room says that the real issue is how are we going to get others to use it so that they can get better stats by which to route people.
Yeah, Facebook had that problem too. They seem to be doing okay.
So if we somehow get Facebook integration into this so that you can update your posts while you're driving, while you're getting new routing, would that work? That might solve the problem.
I can't wait. I'm pretty sure it's probably only a couple of months away, Facebook integration into my toilet. So that when it senses anything hitting my toilet, it puts up a do not disturb kind of message. or just flashes a big pooping sign over my.
Well, and based on exactly the contents of it, it could make recommendations for your diet.
That's true. That's true.
People could like it or share it.
It target my ads based on the content of my urine stream.
Oh my goodness.
Now that sounds like something they could actually do. That's good.
They probably could actually do that.
That would be.
Zuck and the team are probably working hard.
Oh, that was good, Brian. I like that. All right, next story, moving right along. We have the DNS Changer issue coming up, and we're recording this show the day before the government is to take down these temporary DNS servers. So by the time you listen to this, unless you're one of the handful of people who are, or two handfuls of people who are in the chat room right now, this is probably already over. But we should mention it anyway for those who aren't aware of it or want to learn more about it. And I think Dan was pretty familiar with this.
Basically, the DNS changer is malware that reroutes. It almost acts like a proxy and changes your DNS entries to use their DNS servers. So when you go to facebook.com, instead of going to facebook.com, you go to whatever site that they've set up that is a replica of, say, facebook.com, that they can steal your information. The government has set up DNS servers to replace those. So they've taken down the servers that were acting as the changer, and the FBI specifically. And now they're saying we're not doing that anymore. They've given people ample time to correct
and they've been running
rid themselves of the malware.
They've been running these DNS servers for quite a while.
Yeah.
To try and make this virus invisible.
Yep. So it's the article that I think it was Hobo just posted says early 2012. So for 6 months.
Oh, I thought it was actually longer than that.
The DNS Changer virus hit in 2011, in late 2011. I don't know specific dates on that.
Yeah, sure.
But right now, what the numbers I've read are there are 300,000 users still affected. And before the show, Brian was asking, well, are those servers or users? And I think that's users, end users. So nothing important is going to look different. Now, for those users that are infected, maybe the servers that the FBI has put into place will open up the malware to them again, so that they're now going to a replica of Facebook instead of Facebook.com. So that's what people have said. The internet might look different for those 300,000 users.
So I wonder what it would look like. Probably just broken links, right? If those DNS servers aren't up anymore, the malicious ones aren't up anymore, they're just not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a video right now of the infection itself. Right now we just got into March of 2012, and you can see how quickly it spread and how hot it is on the East Coast and West Coast of America, and presumably there's no computers in between.
Well, their threshold for lighting up an area with either red or yellow. My real question would be: is yellow bad or is red bad?
Yeah, good question. It certainly looks as though yellow is worse than red, but there is no.
That's your selection bias kicking in, man.
There's no.
All of the dumb people that live in the middle of the freaking United States, and their smarter cousins on the East Coast are just. 1 out of 10 of them is getting the email and opening it.
So Hobo actually brings up a very important point. There are 300,000 unique IP addresses that are infected.
Oh, that is a good point.
I said pre-show that I might actually have 50 devices on my network here.
Yeah, 300,000 isn't that many.
So going out, I only look like one IP address.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have infected all 50 of my devices if I had.
Yeah. So for people who are worried about this, by the time you're listening to this, it probably doesn't matter, but you can go to www.dcwg, which stands for DNS Changer
Working Group.
Oh, really? Great, yeah. Thanks. So dcwg.org, and they have a place there where you can test it, see if you're currently infected, and also gives you information on how to fix it.
And for those that are trying to figure out how the heck Danny has 50 devices, I vote that we do a round robin here, and we name all of the things in our homes that are currently actively connected to your Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi or internet internet in general, not Wi-Fi.
Printers, tablets, netbooks,
no
laptops.
specificity. Let's see if we get to 50.
Let's see. Asus EE PC, my HTC Evo in my pocket, my Dell XPS laptop, my work laptop, my other Dell Latitude laptop, my old Dell Studio, my Samsung wireless printer, my wife's cell phone, my son's tablet, my wife's Kindle Fire, my what else do I have?
Do you have any storage on the network?
I do. I have a couple of those. My Google TV, my PlayStation 3, my Media Center PC. What else do I have? I know I'm forgetting a lot.
How about VoIP?
My my UMA, which is my VoIP. Yep. What else do I have?
Do you have any kind of alarm system, security cameras?
No, my house is wide open. Please break in now.
Okay, great. Do you have keys hidden outside under anything that's connected to an IP address?
Yes, I do. Yes. Yes.
What else?
Do you have a Wi-Fi enabled fridge, vehicle?
Nope. I think that's it.
Well,
not quite 50, but
of this very specific list that you gave me, I count 15. That's 1 5.
all right.
So you've overestimated by a wee bit, which I hear is that's your bias.
Stop talking to my wife.
Tell her, bitch, stop calling me. Sorry.
She says she likes talking to a woman.
Oh.
I might have to break this up.
All right. Yeah, step in the middle, Mikey.
That's
a little ridiculous. Mike, your turn. I think you win.
Yeah, you're gonna win.
Me? Oh, are we playing this game? Oh,
yeah,
shoot!
yeah.
I should have been paying attention. Okay, all right, I can do this. Let's see here. I have the computer in front of me, which is my main computer. I've got the computer that does the video recording. I've got my iPad. I've got my phone. I've got Heather's phone. I've got this laptop here that does the audio recording. I've got the AT&T repeater type thing. I forget what they call that. Microcell. I've got the computer Brian's on. I got the computer Dan's on. I got the computer Brian's usually on, but it's broken, so that counts as half of an IP address. I've got my laptop downstairs. Got Heather's laptop. Got what else do I have? I've got VoIP. I've got TiVo. I got 2 TiVos. They're both on the interwebs.
Okay.
Wii, that's on the wireless. The alarm system here is on the wireless, or not wireless. It's wired in. It's on the internet though. I don't know. Is that it?
By my count, that's 17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 2 more than Daniel.
Yeah, that doesn't
But
seem right.
I
It should definitely be
missed
high.
at least like 5. What about network storage?
You know me. No, I don't have any network storage.
Oh.
Good question. No, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
Baby monitors? Anything Cameron's got?
Nope, that's not on the network.
Okay.
That's a good question. Oh, I have that slate that has Windows 8 on it. That's downstairs.
You have a slate with Windows 8.
Yeah, it's a what do they call it? It's a Series 7, Samsung Series 7 with Windows 8.
How do you like it?
We should talk about that on our next show. It's pretty interesting. Of course, I still need to update it to the latest version that just came out of Windows.
See, when
8.
Mike says interesting, I take that to mean that it sucks.
It's really, really nice on the Samsung Series 7. It is sweet. It's just if you connect a mouse to it and try to use Windows 8, it sucks.
Oh, so pretty much the way that anyone uses a computer sucks in Windows 8.
That's
okay.
pretty right, yeah. And they're asking in the chat room about my plane if it's connected to the IP, and it is not.
It's pretty far from his house, too.
Yeah, it really is. That wouldn't work.
My turn. I have 3 iPhones. I have an iPad. I have a MacBook Pro. I have an iMac. I have my work laptop. I have an old Sony Vaio. And I have our wireless printer.
Oh, I forgot wireless printer.
Oh, yeah, wireless printer. And I guess my Comcast DVR is connected as well. I don't know. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm at like 10. And I'm not a total nerd. I mean, I'm kind of a gadget freak a little bit. But I'm at 10.
But if we're talking about infectable PCs or devices, as I understand it, this is a Windows issue, not a...
Oh, yeah, sure. No, we're not talking about infectable. I think we're just talking about IP addresses right now.
Okay.
I think it's amazing how many freaking things we have connected to everything all the time.
I really wish we had a soundboard so I could play like that song. If you make sure you're connected, the writing's on the wall. Who is that?
Do you know what movie that's from?
Hackers.
Hackers. That's
Hackers.
Right. Matthew Lillard is a genius.
You know, one other thing I forgot is my scale.
Your scale?
Yeah. I've got one of the Y Things body scales that connect wirelessly and update your graph and your charts and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. I'll have to show you guys that sometime.
I want to see your charts. Come on.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. But it has an IP address.
But so interesting that Mike is at 21 now with the last few editions.
With the stuff I keep making up.
Yeah, Danny's at 15. I'm at 10. First of all, no, even all 3 of us don't have 50.
Right.
So that's a good thing. Dan, stop overestimating. But why? Why? Why?
Why isn't it more? Why don't we have refrigerators and...
Why do we have a scale whose simple function is to weigh things?
So that Mikey doesn't have to type clearly.
Well, you know, and I think that there is an option in that scale to have it automatically update Facebook whenever you weigh yourself. And I'm not even kidding. I'm pretty sure that is an option.
Oh, because, that sounds like a Weight Watchers edition. Like, you pay an extra $19,000 a year to be part of Weight Watchers. They'll help you.
I need to go to their website now and see, but my account.
It's horrible.
All right. Anyway, diversion from topics at hand. I just, I've always been curious, how many is a lot? Yep. And it sounds like, even though I don't feel like I have a lot, I have 50% of what you guys do, which I thought I'd be more like at the 10%. But then I guess I've never even done my own count. It's kind of amazing.
All right, so I'm logged into my Y Things account here, and I have the option here, publish my data on Facebook and also on Twitter. Activate this option if you want to post your data on Facebook. All of your friends will be able to visualize your progress and encourage you to stay on track.
I read about this, or we talked about this on one of our podcasts. But I guess if you're trying to look for motivation, I'm no longer a fat ass, or I'm working to not be.
Yeah, but and that's cool, but do that. I'm all for whatever tools you need to do that, but doesn't feel like I should have to have an extra device. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. What's wrong with having more devices?
Well,
you just mentioned the refrigerator. You mentioned having the refrigerator connected.
Yeah. I would actually like it if I was at the store, I have my phone, and I can't figure out, do I have milk and butter so I can make my fat kid blueberry muffins? And I would like to be able to send a text to my fridge and have it fucking tell me, sorry, watch my language, have it tell me if I have butter in the fridge or not, so I don't have to make 2 trips out. That saves me a lot of money if I don't have to do that.
That's true. And then you would just have to pay a portion of that money that it would save you, up to 30 cents.
Up to 30 cents
in order to
make the right fat kid decision.
So the idea is that when you put things into your refrigerator scans the barcode to let you know what it
all you really need.
How's it going to know?
Smarter than that, Danny. Come on.
Is it going to weigh the butter too?
Has a QR code on it. If it doesn't have a QR code on it, screw it. I scan it in with my phone, and that's how I check out of the grocery store. And then that phone connects to my fridge and tells it all the QR codes that I'm putting in the fridge. and the stuff in the cupboard, by the way.
Now, what about when you take it out? So say you buy that 4-pack of stick butter, and you have a barbecue. So you use, you eat a lot of corn on the cob at your barbecue.
Yeah.
So you use all of those sticks of butter, and now your fat kid is not going to get blueberry muffins because your refrigerator thinks you've used all but, say, half of one. Your fat kid's not going to get blueberry muffins because your refrigerator thinks she has 4 sticks of butter.
Again, you're going to extremes. You don't have 50 devices, you have 15. But in that extreme example, I'm assuming that my barbecue was recent enough that I would recognize, I used up all the freaking butter.
Well, if you're using your refrigerator to remind you to get butter, I don't know that you would recognize that.
I think I would.
I'm having a brain lockup at the moment. What is the...
I think the word you're looking for is fart.
No, it's freeze. My brain is freezing. It's like Windows right now. And so what is the name of the new technology that they're using to replace barcodes where it's just proximity? It doesn't have to actually see it?
I don't know.
Darn it. Someone in the chat room's got to know that.
It exists.
RFID. Hobo, you just won yourself
RFID.
something. I don't know. But RFID, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I love having the chat room here.
But that was like forever ago.
No, they're implementing it now. Walmart just informed their distributors like a year ago that by a certain date that they're going to have that in. They're really going to use that.
Stores are now implementing it, but RFID has been in use for
sure. But it's actually going to be in all of our groceries to begin with, especially if you shop at Walmart, apparently. So all you need is a fridge with an RFID reader in it to be able to tell what's in it and what's not.
So apparently Walmart, I'm reading an article on CNET from
Now, why do you have to look up facts when I can just make stuff up?
Walmart to throw its weight behind RFID. This is from June 5th, 2003. The retail giant is expected to throw its weight behind RFID, blah, blah, blah. The company's plan said executives will make a presentation encouraging its top 100 suppliers to start using wireless inventory tracking equipment by 2005.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I said, like a year ago.
I don't think that RFID thing is actually going to pan out.
What?
Just the same reason that you barely have RFID technology in your credit cards, because people are like freaked out by whatever.
That is true. And there were, I don't know if you saw it, but there were stories about patents that went out for RFID readers in advertising units in the store, so that if you picked up a bottle of Pepsi and you walked by the Coke vending, then an ad would play saying, throw down those Pepsis and pick up some Coke. Or that wasn't the example they gave. It was something with toothpaste, I think. But you get the idea.
Yeah. That
it knows as you walk through the store what it is you are purchasing. And can say, I see you have hemorrhoids. Maybe you would like to get such and such.
Well, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of behavioral change wrapped up in that. You got to get people to pay attention to that junk, and in large part today they don't.
It just creates a privacy headache. People just don't like it.
Well, yeah, they don't like it, and so they just start ignoring it. Same reason that I ignore Facebook. I don't like it, so I ignore the bejesus out of it. I don't know. I'm one of their users, right? But my eyeballs are almost never there.
Is that why you ignore Danny?
I ignore Danny out of principle. Beto.
Excellent. Okay, so where were we going with this?
I don't know.
All right, next story. Google Nexus 7.
Oh,
another device to connect to our...
That's what we need. I don't know anything about the Google Nexus 7. I really don't.
It's one of the first tablets to come out with the Tegra quad-core processor.
Because I need a quad-core processor in my phone.
It's not a phone.
It's a tablet. It's a tablet.
The Nexus 7 is a 7-inch Android tablet running the first device to run Jelly Bean. 1.2 megapixel rear-facing camera.
Front-facing.
Front-facing, sorry. 8 gigs or 16 gig storage with no expansion slot. Reported 10 to 11 hours of battery life. Resolution on it is actually pretty remarkable for a 7-inch tablet. It's 1280 by 800. That's 216 pixels per inch. And and what else does it have?
$200 price tag.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, I pre-ordered mine.
I was expecting much higher.
No, but well, I don't know. I have a lot of questions about it. Like, why is everything that Google launches called Nexus?
That doesn't cause any product confusion whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not confused at all. I have my Nexus phone, I have my Nexus tablet, I have this Nexus Sphere thing.
I still have a bad taste in my mouth from the original Google Nexus, the phone.
Oh, yeah?
That was just called Nexus. It didn't have a 7 or whatever after it now. And it sucked.
Right.
Why? What was your problem with the phone?
Mostly it was the software, not the hardware, if you're going to get all specific on me.
Yeah.
And the fact that it didn't support Exchange, which is kind of required for phones, I thought.
See, you know what? Boo, when iPhones didn't support Exchange when they first came out either.
That's true. But they fixed it a lot faster than Google did, and iPhones came out years before Google's phone came out. So Google totally should have had that already in there.
Case in point, or just one specific thing here, Android was around before iOS was.
Oh, well, then that's even less excuse for them not to have had Exchange, which, like, BlackBerry had for 10 years before that. Yes, I'm going to make up numbers.
So you expect a device that is built on a technology that is a direct competitor to Microsoft's core business, their operating system.
How was Android around before? Sorry.
Android was in development before iOS, but while I'm talking, you go look that up, okay?
Now I see why you don't like him.
Why would you expect a device that is built on technology that directly competes with Microsoft technology to support Microsoft technology?
Oh, that's a good question because everybody uses it.
I can't argue with everybody does use Exchange now. Exchange is actually a decent product.
Yes, it is.
But
just like every Microsoft product.
It was not that decent a product when Android and even iPhones were coming out. It was a pain to administer.
It's still kind of a pain to administer. They could make it a lot easier.
Yeah, but I still go to the technologies were in direct competition back then, so I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, and I think that they're even more in competition today. I think it's more reasonable for businesses to think about using, the Google accounts and the Google. What's their Google business thing called now? Boy, my brain is gone. I was away for a week and I just can't think. But
Google Apps?
Yeah, Google Apps, right. It's more reasonable now for a company, especially a small company, to use Google Apps. They get email at their own domain. They get the web stuff. They get the
groupware, if
groups.
you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And rather than use Exchange and have the headaches that go along with administering it, or the huge cost that goes with having it run remotely.
Sure. And then you've got all of the additional overhead of virus scanning that's built into, that you have to add on or bolt on to Exchange. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, I understand your pain there, but your issues they existed with other devices. I'm excited about the Nexus 7. I've pre-ordered mine. Why? It fits in my back pocket. I can take it everywhere. Right now, in the mornings I go out, I get my cup of coffee, I sit on my deck, and I read the news on my netbook, my EE-PC. It's one that was kind of a mix of a tablet and a netbook. The screen rotates, flips down, and it's touchscreen. It's pretty nice, but it's bulky. I can't fit it in my back pocket. I can't walk around with it. The price tag for $200 with the hardware you get there, that's
a sweet deal.
Yeah.
I can't believe that price tag.
The screen resolution on that is better than any other 7-inch tablet out there. It's pretty remarkable.
So when is Apple coming out with their mini iPad?
There are rumors that's coming soon.
Supposedly, yes. That's all I have to say about that. I'm not going to be part of the Apple rumor machine.
Oh, okay, I will be. I've heard that it's coming out tomorrow. I'll just throw that out there, and it's going to be $199, so it'll be cheaper than this thing. That's what I heard.
Wow. And how much memory does that get you?
128 terabytes.
Oh, because it's all in the cloud.
Yeah, exactly. It's on the cloud, right?
Got it.
Oh, boy. All right. Anything else you want to tell us about this thing, Danny? Why I
I've
should be
read-
excited about it?
oh.
It is a nice device at a good price, but I'm going to look silly whenever I'm holding it up to my head to make phone calls with it.
It's not a phone.
It's still not a phone?
It's still not a phone. It does have GPS in it, though, surprisingly. I don't know how you're necessarily going to put this in your vehicle with you and get connected to Wi-Fi, short of setting your phone up as a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Well, no, that's a good question. Does this not have a cellular modem
Yeah,
as an
but
option?
no cellular.
Oh,
No,
that's
it
kind of
doesn't.
lame.
Yeah.
I completely expected that it would be an option for an extra $100 or something to have a cellular modem on it. Yeah, like you can
No.
with the iPad.
They only have two versions. One is 8 gigs for 200, and the other one is 16 gigs for $50 more.
Huh, that's a shame.
I fully intend to set my phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot and take a road trip with the kids and see how well it works out as a infotainment device connected to the interwebs.
I've used FaceTime off of Heather's phone. She's got an iPhone in many different locations by setting up my Android as a hotspot, and that's been kind of fun. And it confuses people. For example, one time we were driving down the road, and this was a safe thing to do because I was the passenger, and turned my phone onto the hotspot, and because my dad wanted to FaceTime, my mom and dad wanted to see Cameron. And says, yeah, no problem. So I did that and showed him, and he was in his car seat. And they said, where are you? And I turned the phone around and faced it out through the windshield, and they saw us driving down the road, and it blew his mind because he knew that you can only do it when you're on Wi-Fi.
Right.
So that was kind of fun.
That's pretty
funny.
fun.
It's really fun, except that you have to have two devices. I don't understand why they wouldn't have it available with, yeah. If you're
You don't
any
wanna
kind of
call-
tablet, any tablet that comes out these days should be available with a cellular option.
I would agree.
And maybe they'll come
I-
up with one in a couple months.
My wife uses her Fire in the house only. It doesn't have a cellular, so I don't know.
Yeah, the Fire is a little bit different, I think, because it's intended to be used as a book reader. So usually you're just going to download the stuff. It's not, it's not designed. I mean, you can use it for surfing the web and for using Facebook and all that, but its primary purpose is.
Sure. The Nexus 7 is supposed to be a cloud device. That's why they've said they're not going with any external storage or expandable storage.
That isn't a big deal. When was the last time, maybe Dan is an exception because he's such a geek, but when was the last time you had a device and expanded the storage on it? I don't even remember the last time I put an expansion card in a phone.
Yeah, I haven't either. All of my music I've started uploading to Google Music, and I use that regularly because it's one of the few places that my place of employment has not blocked for streaming music.
Well, and this thing is 8 or 16 gig, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
they call it it's a cloud device with limited, capability for storage. 8 or 16 gig is still a lot of space.
Sure. Well, 8 gig, you're going to be hard pressed to get much more than one HD video on it, though. So, if you're using
and that could be a problem as well, because apparently Google launched this thing, and there's not a whole lot of video, TV,
Yep.
books, or music available on the Google equivalent of the App Store, the Android Store, whatever they're calling it.
yeah, that is the consistent criticism. I've read several reviews of the device, and the consistent criticism is that their content of Google Play, which is what they're calling their App Store now, or their store.
I think that's another criticism right there. The heck with the content of the App Store, but what's the name?
Yeah.
Google Play.
Yeah, is what it's called now. They changed it. It's called Google. So in order to download apps, you go into Google Play. And let me just tell you that doesn't confuse anyone when I try to show them how to use an Android phone.
What's funny is that they renamed it to avoid the confusion. I don't get it either.
No, that's dumb.
Too many cooks in the kitchen would be my guess. Google has all these different teams running at 100 miles an hour, and it feels like there's very few folks back in the tower keeping control on who's doing what and when. I think that's why they named this thing the Nexus 7. You know why they named it 7? Because it's 7 inches.
Right?
My name would be 6.5. So, on a Tuesday, anyway, 6.5 on Tuesdays, that'd probably be my name.
Are you 6.5 feet tall?
What?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
Let's ask his wife.
Hey.
I'm excited about it. I want to get my hands on this device and see how it fares. Engadget, all of the websites that have reviewed it have had positive things to say about the responsiveness, the redesign of Jelly Bean. One of the other criticisms was that you're kind of forced into, when you're on the home screen, you're forced into portrait mode. You can't go into landscape. It will not switch.
It doesn't switch ever, from what I read. You can't switch it at all.
Not even to watch a movie?
Yeah, when you're watching a movie, it goes into landscape. And there are other functions that switch it into landscape. And then, of course, if you're an app developer, you can force it into landscape. But the thing about Android is that it's customizable. So I'm sure that there will be a way to disable this portrait only.
Why would you have to disable that? Why would they make that limitation in there?
I don't understand that either. They said they've done usability studies that say that the home screen is expected to be used like a phone for consistency's sake from Android device to Android device. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Well, I guess I'm okay with the home screen always being portrait.
I think
but
that you
the
can
apps,
fit more
if I go into the web browser and turn it sideways, is it going to be landscape?
I believe that it is still going to be portrait. I don't know that the browser switches.
Well, that's not consistent at all.
I agree.
Likey.
One of the other things that's new with Jelly Bean is that they've replaced browser with Chrome for Android.
I like Chrome.
I like Chrome too. It's supposed to be a little bit faster. They're both WebKit based, so I don't know how it could be much faster.
All right, so I'm gonna venture that you go out and get a Nexus 7. Mikey's gonna go buy a plane, and I'm gonna go find out that Facebook toilet thing.
Okay,
and then we meet back here in a month.
Okay, on Sunday, August 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Does that work for you, Brian?
That works for me. I'll be on the toilet 15 minutes earlier.
Great, good. Sounds good. That's a plan.
Maybe 20.
Just so he can weigh himself before it publishes to Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, my Y thing's toilet. They should just build a scale into my toilet. I have to sit on that thing anyway. That would be a good idea.
Except it would have to weigh you before and after. It would be.
Yeah. I want to know that. I want to know exactly how much of that lamb terrine I had last night was weighing me down.
No, you do not. Oh, my goodness. And definitely your friends on Facebook do not want to know that either.
That's why I ignore Facebook, because those people don't care about me. I don't care about them.
If they were your real friends, they would care about that.
That's right.
Okay, great. So we're going to wrap this up now before it gets way out of hand.
Before. Day late and $1 short on that one, buddy.
All right. So, Brian, do you have any website you want to send people to monitor your weight and your...
You can find me on Twitter as Brian M. Hansen or on Twitter as Mostly Knows. Because I'm Mostly Knows. And that's it.
Okay. And how about Mr. Dan?
Daniel W. McCarthy on Twitter and Linux File on the TSG forums.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you being here as always. And we'll see you again in a month.